Good morning, everyone. It is currently 1:35 a.m. and every year I put some bucket of money or budget aside to find a course that is going to improve one element of my career, which also helps kind of my personal development as well. And this year I have picked Wes Ko's course called Executive Communication, Managing Up.
What if I told you that spending 15 minutes improving one email could save you 15 hours of meetings? Today, I'm sharing the 5 biggest takeaways from Wes Ko's Executive Communication and Influence course that I have just attended. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Teresa and I'm a product leader based in Melbourne, Australia. And on this channel, we unpack actionable strategies and practical tools to continuously grow in our career. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to this channel. Now, every year I set aside a budget for personal and professional development. If you want to see what I did last year, check out the video right here. Now this year, I decided to dive deep into something that I have been struggling with: executive communication. If you're someone who finds themselves saying, hey, let's hop on a call way too often, or if you feel like your ideas aren't getting the attention they deserve, this video is for you. Now let me quickly introduce Wes Ko. She's an entrepreneur, coach, and writer who works with high-performing leaders in technology. I've been following her newsletter for the past 2 years, and her real-world examples on getting buy-in and providing valuable feedback have been incredibly helpful. So let's jump into the key takeaway of this course. So key takeaway number 1, the perfect learning mix. Now the course structure was exactly what I needed as a learner. Over 2 days, about 2.5 hours each, plus an extra hour of Q&A with Wes. We spent most of our time practicing rather just listening to theory. So here's how it worked. Wes would introduce a concept and then immediately give us real-world scenarios to work through. We'll submit our responses and she would do live critiques of selected submissions. Not to embarrass anyone, but to show us the difference between weak and strong communication in real time. Now, I noticed a dramatic improvement from day 1 to day 2. By actually practicing these frameworks with immediate feedback, the concept started clicking in a way that pure theory just never could. Now, takeaway number 2 is the RLC Framework, de-risk hesitation. Now, this is where things got interesting. Wes introduced us to the RLC Framework, which stands for recipient focused, who is your audience, what benefits them, logic, explain your rationale and thought process clearly, cognitive load, reduce any noise that could cause confusion. But here's the key insight that hit me like a ton of bricks. Every piece of communication, especially when you're making an ask, should focus on de-risking hesitation. Before this course, I used to review my messages thinking, does this make grammatic sense? Are there any typos? And now my entire review process has shifted to asking what might make my recipients hesitate to say yes, and how can I address these concerns upfront? This single shift in perspective has transformed how I'm going to approach every email, every proposal, and every request I make. Takeaway number 3, concise doesn't always mean short. I had this misconception going into the course, probably because I've been reading Wes's newsletter for the past 2 years, where she's incredibly concise, that being clear meant being brief. But here's what I learned through her course. Concise means eliminating unnecessary information, not necessarily making everything short and sweet. If you're dealing with a complex logic or a sophisticated concept, it's perfectly okay to take more space to explain it properly. Now, the key is being mindful of your recipient's cognitive load. Structure your longer explanation around benefits your recipient cares about and use context they already understand. Sometimes a well-structured longer message prevents hours of back and forth confusion. Key takeaway number 4, stop using "let's hop on a call" as your safety net. Now, this was my biggest personal breakthrough, and honestly, it was a little bit embarrassing to realize. Like, I had developed this terrible habit of defaulting to "let's hop on a call" whenever I felt like my written communication might not be clear.
But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you.
So here's a math that changed everything. Spending 15 minutes improving your written communication can save 15 hours of meeting from your calendar. Now think about that for a sec. It sounds pretty awesome, right? I was doing this constantly. After 1 or 2 written exchanges with senior management, I would suggest a call because I thought it would just be a lot faster to explain verbally. And sure, 50% of the time my manager would agree, but she'll probably in meetings all day and just doesn't need another one-liner from me that's cluttering her calendar. Now, during the course exercises, when I instinctively wrote "let's hop on a call" at the end of my communication responses, and Wes told us that wasn't an option, that's when it just clicked. I was using calls as a crutch instead of improving my core writing communication skills. Now, the final key takeaway is about identifying my personal communication pitfall. In the section on strengthening pitches, Wes outlines 6 common mistakes people make. One is the single-minded martyr, insisting things must be done on a specific way. Overconfident, stating hypotheses as facts. Not confident enough, diminishing what you have just said. Being too optimistic or being too pessimistic. And jumping quickly into logistics on how you want to solve the problem. Seeking reassurance, wanting the audience to validate you. We did a group reflection exercise to identify which mistakes resonated most with us. For me, it was definitely not confident enough. When presenting to senior management, I had this preconception that I'm about to make judgment calls they'll disagree with, or they'll ask, "Where's your data?" Since they come from different departments, I start thinking, why would they even listen to me? Look, most of the time, it's all in my head. But my improvement plan focused on better preparation using the RLC model, supporting my recommendation with data that matters to them, and backing up my points with feedback from their customers or their team members. It's about building confidence through thorough preparation rather than hoping for the best. So this comes back to the ultimate question. Was it worth the investment? Now, the overall cost for me was about $800 USD, which is around $1,000 Australian dollars. And I can honestly say that it was worth every penny. Not only did we practice every theory across both days, even though I was trying to stay awake around 2 a.m. as this was New York time zone, Eastern time zone, but I felt energized throughout the course and equipped with really practical skills I could use immediately. So here's a pro tip if you are considering to take this course. Come with some real world examples, some email communication that you want to take into the course, or start to think about what is the next meeting that you want to prepare for. Having concrete scenarios to practice with will set you up much better results, because I kind of struggled to think about my previous emails or my next emails or even my next meeting that I wanted to practice communication on, because it was 2 a.m. for me. All the course materials, slides, recordings, and extra templates are available for lifetime access. So you can keep going back to refresh and source materials whenever you need, because I'm definitely going to be doing that. If you found this video insightful, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. I also love to hear what you personally invest in yourself every year. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.